you got your first job, how much money did you make? It probably wasn't much more than minimum wage. The current minimum wage is $7.25 an hour. That actually might not add up to be a lot, but most jobs paying this are starter jobs. Those starter jobs are considered jobs for teenagers or somebody who's starting out trying to get a little money. When the hot topic right now of raising minimum wage is brought up, the negative side effects aren't really thought of. Some of those include job loss, higher poverty rates, less jobs available, and that the effects are actually minimal for the people who want to see it. With raising the minimum wage to the current proposed amount, which is $15 an hour, comes at a huge risk of job loss. Paying a human to do a job that a machine can do becomes very expensive. In turn, this leads to layoffs and higher unemployment rates. Machines can do these jobs more efficiently and for less money. You can see this at McDonald's with the kiosk already being used, at grocery stores with self-checkouts, Target, Walmart, Kroger, they all have self-checkouts. You can also see this at grocery stores in other ways. Grocery stores also don't use baggers anymore, and they don't even walk your groceries out to the car. Here in Olive Branch, we do have one grocery store left that does that. At Piggly Wiggly, they still bag your groceries and take them to your car. According to Forbes, all of this leads to lower incentives for employers. Therefore, entry-level jobs would start to diminish. Due to there not being an incentive to hire more people over using machines, many entry-level jobs, such as those that teenagers can do, like cashiers and all that at grocery stores, those would quickly diminish. According to the Employment Policies Institute, this could lead to problems for single-parent families. A lot of these single parents go out and look for other ways to earn a couple extra dollars each month just to get them by. The nonpartisan Congressional Budget Office said that raising the federal minimum wage from $7.25 to $10.10 would cut about 500,000 jobs. And the crazy thing is that most people were wanting to raise the minimum wage to $15 an hour. James Shark estimated that raising it to $15 would eliminate about 9 million jobs. The diminishing jobs would end up leading the country to a higher poverty rate. Poverty would begin as a domino effect. The high wages would lead to higher prices of products. That would lead to an inflation in prices that consumers see. Consumers would then not demand those goods as much. If those products are not in demand, they do not need to be produced as much, which according to procon.org will lead to a cut in hours for employees or even job layoffs. Someone who is used to working 30 to 35 hours a week will be cut down to 5, maybe 10 hours a week. And that might not seem like a big loss because they could have income coming somewhere else, but in the end, that's a huge loss on the checks. The people who want to see an impact by the minimum wage increase would not really be the ones to see it. When the minimum wage changes, it only affects a small group of people. According to PBS, nearly half of minimum wage earners are teenagers or young adults still living at home. About 75% of minimum wage earners are also just part-time workers. Therefore, they could be working multiple jobs. Minimum wage earners usually come from a household earning at least $52,000 a year. Almost 80% of minimum wage increase would go to people who, in fact, are not poor. The people who want a pay raise already don't make minimum wage. They make more. So they really wouldn't see the raise because they already make over it and there's no sense in giving them that raise. An increase in the federal minimum wage does have some good aspects. However, it does not solve all the world's money problems, and it actually creates a few more. Raising the minimum wage encourages employers to find new means of producing goods, such as machines, which leads to job loss. For example, Amazon is currently using their ways of producing new things to use drones to deliver packages instead of employers doing it. They would take over entry-level jobs, which leads to higher poverty rates. The effects are minimal and only affect starter jobs. In the long run, this is bad for business. I mean, for example, say somebody comes in and they're new hires. They've been there for 3 weeks at most, and they're already making $10,000 to $12,000 more than you a year, if not more, because they're being paid higher than the minimum wage is. How would you feel about that?